goodness. Oh my goodness. How are you?
Hello, this is amazing. I love being here when there's only, like there's only us. This is incredible. I've never
VIP hour just for you.
This is always booming and so full. It's so incredible to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Happy to have you. Thank you. Thanks for coming to PDT.
What is exciting for you about how to bring Sotol to life?
Well, Sotol has, it comes from a plant that's so mature, it's aged so long, and what happens when things age, whether it's a person or a plant, is there's this maturation where there's wisdom and there's flavor and there's texture. And Sotol is made from such old plants that there's those plants tell a story, and so the distillation of that, if done right, that spirit then tells the story of the earth and the plant that it came from and all that. So I love tequila, mezcal, Sotol, everything kind of from Mexico, because there's so much patience involved in the production of it, because you have to wait for it to be ready. The more you wait, the better it tastes, and I love that. So whenever there's a product like that that gets into my hands, I get excited because I have to handle with care, because the people before me handled with care, and so I have to do it justice.
And nature handled it with care. 15 years as a fact for this bottle. Just like alone, right?
Yeah.
Like agave 7 years, Sotol 15.
Well, at the end of the day, it's like man plans and nature laughs. You can try to cultivate it earlier, but it's like, nope, no, it's not going to taste right. It's going to be tight. It's going to be rugged. Yeah. It takes that moment, but it's also as I'm in my 40s now and I have 3 kids, and a little gray in my beard. I have so much more to bring to the table than I did 20 years ago. Even though 20 years ago I probably thought I had more to bring to the table, but now it's wisdom is expensive to come by. It comes with time, and it comes with trauma, and it comes with all these things, and I find that patience of these desert products.
How do you think that it brings to life in consumers, in your bar, in in cocktails or in
What the first thing I do is I pour a little taste. I don't just put my nose over the bottle, but I just kind of smell it, because you can really start to sense what it's going to taste like by the aroma. And I've tasted thousands and thousands and thousands of spirits, and you can tell something's good first just by smelling it, just because it's you built up sense memory. But what I do is I start to break it down in my brain, and I don't know if it's consciously or subconsciously, but I start to think of colors. And one of my mentors kind of taught me that years ago, and it was a really way to add some context to what you're experiencing. And I think this has an emerald kind of aroma to it, is a color, which means, okay, this would be really good with cucumber, capsicum, or bell pepper, or poblano pepper, or some sort of green thing, whether it be celery, things of that nature. And tropical fruits are things that are really gonna add to this. So the way I think is the green is gonna kind of exacerbate in a positive way, and then the tropical fruits will complement. So think of pepper and pineapple is a great combination. It just works, and it's not something that AI is going to tell you. It's what your mouth tells you after trying those combinations together. It's like a sweet and sour blend. I'm going a little bit further away than the tropics, but the tropical kind of component is going to be yuzu. So it's going to be cucumber, yuzu, Sotol are the kind of the 3 things I'm going to start with, and I have a couple options of where I want to go with it, whether it's almost like an old fashioned, or if we want to make it tall and crisp with tonic or soda water. Give that a taste.
It's so fantastic.
It's a highball style cocktail, and I love highballs because what it's doing, you take a base spirit and then you're elongating it with something bubbly and refreshing to make it a sessionable way to consume that product. And when you elongate it, the same kind of principle is adding a drop of water to cask strength whiskey opens it up. And so this is a way to really experience 6 ounces of Sotol flavor with a lower ABV. So you get to enjoy it longer. I think I love a spirit neat, but it's very easy to go down quick.
And what's the name of this beauty?
I just came up with it for you right now. So let's see. Could be the Romo Ricky. Not quite. It doesn't have lime juice. It's like a desert spoon something. This is a bit like an old fashioned. So this is passion fruit juice. It's a puree that we strain to make it this color, because we want that just the subtlest amount of tropical fruit, and so it's almost like an old fashioned. And you can add like a little bit of spice to it if you want, like just like a single drop of bitters. Just, you don't want too much here because the nuance of what's happening, it needs a little bit for spice, but you don't want there to be too much. And like even the single dash of Angostura gives me a little bit of anxiety because I don't want to take away from the Sotol flavor. But I love it. Okay. So this effectively is a Sotol Old Fashioned. It's just passion fruit, Sotol, and one single dash of Angostura bitters.
Have you tried actually stamping ice with corks before? Like a lot of the time?
No. This to me is fantastic. The closure of a bottle is always really important to me because it's almost like the shoes you wear with your suit. It says a lot about the details. And so the fact that this is copper and has a kind of an indentation or was it debossed is how it's called, I guess. It's gonna melt the ice.
And mark it. Because the plant is so beautiful. I would have anybody tattoo themselves.
There you go.
Oh my god.
20 years of bartending. The thought never crossed my mind to have a copper stamp made.
So I went to a place and someone said like I love everything you're telling me, but the thing that I love the most is how the plant looks. I have so many tattoos. Can you give me one so that I can tattoo it? I like, why don't we tattoo every drink?
Yeah, 100%. Try it.
All right, let's see.
Sotol, passion fruit, and bitters.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
This is amazing. So this is an old fashioned.
It is, yeah. Sotol Old Fashioned.
So how would you, because it's an old fashioned, we cannot call it old fashioned, right?
No, it's a new.
It's a out of prohibition fashion.
Some kind of thing. We got to figure that as a nuevo old fashioned. Yeah, it's a modern old fashioned because people always think of old fashions as whiskey. I mean, that's a very broad statement. I mean, some people don't, but the old fashioned style is spirit, sugar, and bitters. What are we going to add to that? And just one dash of bitters, not 2, not 3, not 4, because then it's like here, for example, like imagine that drink with like 4 dashes of this. Like this is really a really great product. There's a delicacy to Sotol that of the nuance of the flavors, and that will mask it. And so you need just a little bit just to add. You want to stay below the threshold, so it's doing something to elevate the drink without being the star of the show. Because the star is here. Well, the star is here, right? And then she made this, and now we're making this, and we want to do that justice, right? So just 1 dash. And then the passion fruit, we clarify it. We add a little bit of sugar to the passion fruit because passion fruit is extremely tart. On your palate, it's almost as acidic as like a lemon or a lime. Not quite the same like pH levels, but we have to add a little bit of sugar to it just to balance it. But that's a way to add it so it's not too edgy. Like if this was sour, it wouldn't really have the same kind of like holistic taste.
I needed to try this, just a tiny bit.
I mean, I love it. I love that the main thing I still taste is Sotol the whole way, but the passion fruit, it's like envelops in the middle. It starts with Sotol, finishes, and there's this like lovely like tropical fruit treat in the middle. I think it's great.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. How would you pair this?
Well, I mean, you know, it'd be really.
If you're going to the Waldorf and you're like, guys, we need to have Sotol here because this is like really lean and clean and desert and wisdom and resilience. How would you pair it? And they're like, great.
This is so good. I would probably work out there's a few different things I would like. I would like something like this because I find this to be a very good, because it's the ABV is diluted because it's a bigger drink by volume. This is a very good introduction to a lot of people, but this is the elegance of like Peacock Alley and the Waldorf Astoria. Like something like this would be a fantastic way to serve it. I think either way, but this product is new to the world. I want to be in cocktails that are highlighting what it is, rather than masking it, because I think that there's a sense of pride in making cocktails, and it's not pride in yourself, it's pride in the product. And how do we make that thing shine instead of how do we hide it? How do we put a spotlight on what that is? And I think a lot of times, like, let me throw a bunch of these things in there and make this drink about myself. I'm like, I want myself as far removed from the cocktail as possible and making it the best possible drink I can with the base spirit. And how do I modify it to fit a seasonality, a narrative of where the product comes from, and thinking like this one has the tropical fruit, passion fruit. This one I think comes from Southeastern Asia, but that tropical fruit is like a very good foil to like the desert heat. It's very appropriate, and it's a good combination to like that green kind of flavor of the Sotol.
You've been so incredible as an ally discovering and enhancing Mexican products, starting with your partner Victor, and I feel a little bit like the same, right? Like you're like, this is genius, this is a diamond that is not polished totally, let's polish it, let's make sure that we're bringing it to life.
Yeah.
So it's exciting for me to hear you talk about Sotol, and I would love to see more and more bars and bartenders and trend-setting places in New York follow and fall in love with it the way that I hear you talk about it.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, I find if you're not thinking about yourself, it's really easy to think about the value of others and other products, and thinking of like, how are people gonna receive this drink that I am creating, and not having that mentality. I'm thinking like, how can I be an asset to the community? How can I be an asset to these two people that are at the bar on a date? How do I help their night get better? And having this almost service element, or my, like Victor, my longtime friend and now business partner at Mexica, it's like, how do we put a spotlight on Victor? Because that's going to be so much more joyous than putting a spotlight on me.
What would be your message for, bartenders, trendsetters, places about like, what is it all? Why should you bring it to your place? Give it a try, how to serve it, like the basic 5 for people that are watching you.
Our job especially for the person that's buying the products for your business, but if you're serving them, if you're not the person that does the ordering, but if you're serving them, reach for it and showcase especially newer products. Like, this is not a new category, but this is it's having a moment of getting some attention, and let's shed light on it, because we're the first line, bartenders, mixologists, people that purchase spirits, of what's coming to market. And so we need to highlight for those, I think of this as like, this is my showroom. These are products I stand behind, and you can taste them. We were going to make cocktails with them because they're the best. Either they're brand new and fantastic, or they're benchmark brands, or there's something that's obscure and rare, but it's all fantastic products, and that's what's going to exist on the back bar. And I find it our job is like, not that it's very noble, like, I'm not trying to make it sound like it's noble, but it is a tireless pursuit of finding the best thing. And that's our responsibility. It's almost like a spirits concierge for the consumer. Like, you should try this, because I taste hundreds of products a week. This is something I think you should try. Somebody comes to your bar, they're paying a lot of money for a drink, you should be the expert, and then you should be finding things that are unique, new, and different for them to try, so that they can have an elevated experience. I'm a philosophy major. This is what I studied in college. I do well with theories and ideas, and specifics not as much, but I kind of like take a holistic approach to like digest information to grasp it. And so everyone's going to approach their own spirits education differently. Some people are all about chronology and dates and the scientific element, but I'm much more ethereal with it. So what I think, it's like, the way I go about it is I taste categories together. So tequila, Sotol, Japanese whiskey, I'll taste maybe 6 products in a line. I'll go through and smell them, and I'll taste them. And I'll figure out what are the nuances inside that vertical tasting of that category. And I can go, oh, this has more bell pepper, or this one has, oh, this one's a bit more like straw or hay. And you find the differentiating element to each one. And then that's how you hone in on how you're going to make cocktails with it. It's objectively good. Like, it's a great product. It's well made. But there's a subjectiveness to the creation of the cocktail surrounding. Because there's somebody that grows up in Hong Kong versus Cape Town versus New York versus London versus wherever, Russia, are going to grow up on different foods, are going to have different cleaning products in their house that are going to have a different aroma. And there's these sense memories that are going to latch onto that are going to be evocative. And so that's what's so cool about this. Has a really good potential to be a fantastic global brand, and I'm so excited to see what happens in the Asian continent with how they come up with drinks, how they do it in Africa, how they do it in South America versus North America, and especially, you know, in North America, where, you know, in Mexico, I'd love to see how Sotol is received and experimented with, and I think that's probably my favorite one to watch because it's so close to the source. Well, I mean, it is the source, Mexico, but especially in like Chihuahua and the kind of the desert states.
You're the best. Thank you so very much. For everyone, I am cheering on for Jeff Bell and the love that he has for, you know, like discovery and innovation and everything you're doing for not only the industry but for my country. Come visit. Please don't tell Amisteca and
Keys is the newest one, yeah.
The newest one. So cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claudia.
Yeah.